recording. All right, welcome to the Avatar Interop meeting number 2. And I want to talk about wearables this week. Wearable interop is a big subject. How do we, carry our traits between one platform to another? There's a big marketplace for wearables across the metaverse, and it's growing. And with Interop, you get more market reach, more creators, and a bigger flywheel effect. So, but it's a mishmash of not really many standards in this area, not too much in terms of Interop with NFTs. I've got a CryptoVoxels avatar here, and I'm like, well, what if I wear it on my avatar here? I convinced the platform that this is a great idea to support custom avatars, because wearables can then have a bigger audience than the few thousand CryptoVoxels owners to the millions of custom avatar people, and voxel wearables look pretty cool. So I've got like a open source repo where you can download files and instructions on how to download and customize your own, like export a CryptoVoxels avatar to other platforms. Here I am in VRChat in the CryptoVoxels world. And the thing is, when you combine these wearables with your avatar, they just kind of become another model accessory. Like, they kind of lose their magic of being a NFT where you can inspect the provenance, like how you can in CryptoVoxels. You can just view the chain, who owns what. But if I were to bring it into VRChat, then what's going on? Who made that? Who owns that? Etc. And what happens if you're combining like a combination of NFT wearables and non-NFT wearables? Like in this example, I've got a couple of katanas on my back from CryptoVoxels, and a shirt that you can pretend is tokenized on a different project, and a jacket that is not even a token at all. It's just something that a creator made, and there's millions of such creations already. So how do we make this all work, And when I'm in VRChat, there's no way I could inspect who made that jacket and whatnot. I can't read the label, so it all just combines into one avatar mesh. There's no way to kind of view information about any of this, which is kind of the whole point of NFTs. And one implementation that I think is doing an interesting work here is Webaverse, because they're adding support to view third-party NFTs, not just stuff from Webaverse, but you can import CryptoVoxels wearables into there, for example, just whitelisting collections one by one. And they got this AR holographic future where it's kind of like a Pokédex. So imagine kind of like Wiki Vision or Pokédex Vision, where you can just kind of look at something and view the metadata about that object, even if it comes from outside of the platform. So I think that's where a really good reference point and direction for how to make cross-compatible wearables work. But we need a lot more experimentation in this area, and a lot more just collaboration. And what we're doing here in this group, M3 specifically, is we're focused on two things: content and documentation. So let me just give you some examples via not this slide, but I got some videos here. Well, you know what? I could probably drag and drop it here. You can see this, right? Okay, so I bring my CryptoVoxels avatar out of CryptoVoxels and into VRChat, and walking around there, and then I convert it to a VRM. And once it's VRM format, then I could just go wherever I want, into there's a whole bunch of platforms and programs that support such, or plugins to easily convert to and fro for support within there. And when game devs say like there's no such thing as Interop and whatnot, I think they just kind of like never heard of formats like VRM or have seen like concepts like this where there is, Interop. It's just nobody is making videos or content to like make it so obvious that you can just point to it from a URL. I've done this with CryptoVoxels. I've done this with Vroid. Um, I've done this with crypto avatars as well. Just going through all the different platforms: Decentraland, VRChat, Neos, Webaverse, and it's been really effective in actually like kind of not only convincing platforms but the users like this is the way forward, because a lot of people talk about NFTs like the promise of them is interoperability. You can bring your stuff from one game to the next, but who's actually like doing that work, right? Like who is testing it, who is trying to see like, well, what does carry over? Is it just the model? Is any of the traits like information or a way to kind of like what information is carrying across, right? Because if I bring it to some other platforms, it just becomes kind of just another 3D model. And what unlocks there? So I think, with M3, back to the presentation, if we create content together, not just as an individual traveling between these platforms, like this screenshot here from Craftopia supports multiplayer. So if we meet up like with our avatars there, it'll look way more cooler than just one person in these different worlds. Same with Webaverse, same with many other platforms. So if we do this as a group, I think it'll be a lot more effective. Like, hey, there's a community working on this, and then documentation to document how we did what we did. And that's kind of like the next step. And if anyone makes their own custom avatar or takes notes or is a camera person during these events, we'll get you a POAP, which you can wear on your avatar. And with our custom avatars, as we go and spread the gospel of interoperable open standards throughout all these virtual worlds, we'll be looking badass and making an impression upon every site, every platform that we visit. I want to basically take group field trips and extended field trips. They're not just like visiting like and then leaving the same day. I want to spend time there in the town, meet the locals, gather around a campfire, share stories, go sightseeing a bit. And this is kind of like the original virtual reality, right? We build a relation and trust and talk about standards and what people are building and learn about their cultures. And we've done this a lot in the past. We've gone through virtual market many times as a group of VR devs from all sorts of different projects and backgrounds, and I think we need more of those. Exploring platforms outside of the ones that we're building. And then we build bridges between them, like we bring a little bit of our world to theirs. And that's the best way to teach people. Nobody understood about CryptoVoxels until I led a group field trip to there. And then, standing on the rooftop, they understood what it was about. Instead of trying to convince them to jump ship and check something out, it's way more effective to bring your avatar or your world into these platforms and share it that way. So that's the goals for the group, content and documentation as we're traveling across the metaverse, with our custom avatars and wearables and whatnot. We're not only field testing these concepts, but we're also, reaching new audiences, red pilling folks, growing and establishing kind of outposts in each world, and building the new Silk Road. It's all about building bridges, and avatars are a thing that travels across all of them. So with that, thanks for listening. If anyone has questions, comments, let me know.